chat. And before we wrap up, we want to hit this other breaking news that just came down the pike. I think it was Tom Pelissero that first tweeted it out. No huge surprise here. I thought about doing a separate video, but I'm like, you know what? We'll just put it all into one. All right. No reason to kind of drag this out. We were expecting Luke Getsy to be the quarterback coach, right? We talked about it on the morning show. I know Jen in the chat talked about it, if I remember correctly. I want to say Jay did as well. J. Cole, I think, had mentioned it before. Like, this made all the sense in the world. So Luke Getsy was a senior assistant, right? An offensive senior assistant or whatever side of the ball they had him working on. But you guys know he was formerly a quarterback coach. I think he was he the OC? Might have even been the OC in Green Bay. I know he was a quarterback coach under Aaron Rodgers. And I think Jordan Love when he first got here as well. So there's familiarity there. And also Jordan Love last year, guys, think about it. Sean Mannion took over as quarterback coach. Tom Clements had left. And I was one that was like, man, we'll see how Jordan responds to this. Because Jordan Love, has kind of had Tom Clements there for a while, right? Like, how is he going to respond to Sean Mannion? Now, it's great that Sean Mannion got to work under Tom Clements and kind of put some stuff in place and kind of learn, all right, here's how the whole operation works. Well, Tom Clements leaves. Sean Mannion is the quarterback coach. Luke Getsy comes back to Green Bay as a senior assistant, right? And all of a sudden, Jordan Love has his best year. I think there's probably an argument it might not have been his best year. He didn't play last year at the level he did the second half of 2023, which was just, it was better than Aaron Rodgers' best years, the second half of 2023. And again, it's only a half a season, so you can't count it, right? But when you look at what he did last year, it's damn near that same level of play, protecting the football. His accuracy got so much better, right? So we just immediately said, all right, that was Sean Mannion that made that happen, right? Wow, Sean Mannion was a real deal. But I think some of us have kind of forgotten that, in the background, you had Luke Getsy there as well. So again, Tom Pelissero tweets out, the Packers are naming Luke Getsy their quarterback's coach, sources say, after offensive coordinator stints with Chicago and Las Vegas. Getsy returned to Green Bay last year as a senior assistant and now replaces Sean Mannion, who left for the Eagles OC job. I think this is huge. If I'm being honest, I think Luke Getsy is a little more qualified to be offensive coordinator than even Adam Stenavich. Now, I'm not saying they should switch those by no stretch of the imagination. Adam Stenavich has an offensive line background. Wouldn't want to try to see him as a quarterback coach. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm simply saying this is a offensive coordinator level coach that's your quarterback's coach. So I expect Jordan Love's play to somewhat stabilize. And I think this is huge because, again, it's not a surprise. We kind of expected it, but I was worried someone would poach Luke Getsy away from us. And now we don't have Sean Mannion. We don't have Tom Clements. And now we don't have Luke Getsy. What are we going to do? Right. And again, Luke Getsy, if I remember correctly, was quarterback coach for at least one of Aaron Rodgers' MVPs, those two MVPs that he won with Matt LaFleur at the helm. So really, really interesting here. It doesn't catch you off guard, but I think it's a great hire, if that makes sense. Let's go to the chat real quick before we get ready to wrap up and see what everybody is saying in the chat. Let's see. Pretty stacked team. Just want to double check, make sure I'm not missing anything. Yes, that's right. Yeah, so we hit it there. Jonathan was asking. That's correct. Yeah, Luke Getsy is your new QB coach or old new QB coach, recycled QB coach, right? J. Cole says, he ain't the GM, so I ain't worried about it. Goot needs to tighten up this draft. I think he was talking about, obviously, Will Redmond's addition, right? And I think that's a fair point, Jay. I'm with you, man. Goot's had some great classes. He's had some great free agent signings. He's also had some bomb classes, and he's bombed in free agency last year. Got to straighten up. Everybody, if we're gonna hold Matt LaFleur to this standard, right? We're gonna hold Jordan Love to this standard, and everyone in between. Keyshawn Nixon, we talk about him, right? Rashawn Gary, Lord knows everybody trying to hold him to that standard. Then I think we should hold Goody to the same standard. And I think we have turned the corner as a fan base that there's more people now talking like, hey, all right, maybe Goody isn't untouchable here. We should demand a little bit more because there are GMs that are lapping him. There's no two ways about it. So again, I think it's awesome. He's getting Will Redmond in there to help scout a little bit and all that stuff as well. So going to be really, really exciting, as Tony Candideo 3 says. I've never got so excited about coaching moves in this offseason. It's fun to keep up with, Tony. It really is, man. I don't know. Maybe you're named after Tony Candideo. I don't know. I'm going to refer to you as Tony, though. But one of the greatest running backs in the history of the Green Bay Packers, Tony Candideo, man. so fun to go back and look at the stats and some of the black and white images and everything. I got some on my wall over here in the studio. Tony Cannadale was a dog, a man bear. But yeah, the coaching moves, when you really dive into them, it's very interesting. I love looking at the background. That's what I like looking at. Same thing when you sign a player. When the top 30 visits happen, we're already kind of doing it with the Packers meeting with players already at Senior Bowl, East West Shrine Bowl, all that stuff. But when the top 30 visits happen, we do an extensive deep dive into that prospect. We'll take the prospect report that we already got in the Patreon group, and what we do is we edit it and we add even more information in. There's no reason to dive into all these prospects and wasting that time, and the Packers may not be as interested in them. But it's the same thing with the coaches. Getting the coaching background on all these guys, like we did with Will Redmond, is really, really interesting for sure, man. So there you go. Yeah, Gray Ghost of Gonzaga. Appreciate that, Clayton. Absolutely, man. The Gray Ghost of Gonzaga. 2-0 for this says, I need a nap. Stayed up way too late last night. There you go. 2-0 for this. I'm too old for that, man. You're too old for this. I'm too old for this. You kidding me? So, yeah. And then Chuck Jagger says, this program, I love the U in there, by the way, helps with the offseason. So appreciate it, Chuck. Thank you for the kind words, man. And that's the goal. Like I said, there's a lot to talk about, and just understanding who these guys are. I thought about I mentioned this before, and we'll wrap up right here, but I thought about doing a show on just kind of stuff geared around the NFL in general. Like, the other day there was some kind of a shooting or something that happened to a 49ers player, and there was kind of a story background around it and somebody famous. I thought about doing like some NFL crime stories, if you will, something like just like little 10-minute documentaries on, hey, here's something. Like, we always think back to like the Ray Lewis situation, right? Or maybe we could go back and like, who was Brian Bosworth, this college athlete that was supposed to dominate way back in the day? He comes in the league and ends up being a bust, right? Or, the Bo Jackson stories and stuff like that. I thought would be kind of cool to go. No, Brambo, we're not talking about a current affair NFL here, sir. Not quite there. Not quite there. I haven't heard that name in a while. A current affair, man. I can hear it. What's the noise? Actually, is that the noise we've got? It isn't, is it? The breaking news noise? I don't think it is. I think it might be. Is that it, guys? Is that Brambo? You got to let me know, man. Is that the current affair noise? Is that what that is? Maybe, he says. All right, there you go. This show sucks. So who knows? All right. So yeah, Professor Cakes is on it. Yeah. Could do a Leonard Little story. Wow, I forgot about that one, right? He played at Tennessee, right? University of Tennessee, went on to, was it the Rams, I think? Marvin Harrison's another one really interesting with Marvin Harrison. And then of course Ray Lewis, that's one of those right there at the top for sure. So yeah, pretty wild. I don't want to put it on the screen too over this, but I hear he says, why do Franciscans, I don't know if he's trying to say like people from San Francisco, keeps trying to harm their team, right? That's the second player. Is that right? The second 49er that's been involved in a shooting like that in the last, 5 years, 3 years, something like that. It's a good point, man. That's a really, really good point. So, yeah. All right. That's it, guys. I'm going to get out of here. I just plan on going 10 or 15 minutes, but just wanted to get the chat involved a little bit. Greatly appreciate y'all. If you would do me a favor, let me know in the comments, how do you feel about these two hires? Again, Luke Getsy being, I don't know if promotion's the right word. He's going to be your quarterbacks coach this year. And of course, Will Redmond has been added to the front office, former Auburn GM, former personnel director down with the LSU Tigers. So let us know in the comments, how do you feel about those hires? Make sure you hit like, hit subscribe, click the bell icon so you catch all the live streams moving forward. And we will see you guys soon. If we don't go live again today, we'll see you tomorrow morning probably. We'll see how everything falls into place. If news breaks here in a second, which it's rapid fire right now, we will we'll dive into it immediately and bring you guys all the breaking Packers news. So y'all have a great day. My name's Clayton. This is PTA. Oh, yeah. Also, check out our Patreon community, patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. We've got articles over there. We got our entire draft board. We got chats where you guys can communicate back and forth. People are throwing mock drafts up over there. A lot of good stuff, a lot of good information over there that we're just sharing as a fan base together. Again, if you want to be a part of our Patreon community, patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. My name's Clayton. This is PTA. Go Pack, go.
Here we go.
We out.
Bye, guys.